Okay, so we just got done watching. Is this episode 3 of season
Episode
2
3.
slash chapter 11, whatever, for Mandalorian, and I really like this one.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, this was last week's was pretty much a filler episode. I mean, we both enjoyed last week's episode as well, but it was definitely more filler. This one's like getting into the meat of the story, pretty much.
Yeah, starting to get like some plot points and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's showing that this show really is a live action continuation of like the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Hmm.
Because now we're getting actual characters from those shows showing up for the first time ever.
Yeah, starting to get like those characters showing up in like live action now.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be really cool. Yeah, so the episode picks up where the last one left off with them with their broken ship limping along
Yeah.
to looks like a Mon Calamari like colony world.
Yeah, that's actually kind of interesting too. I don't think we've ever seen any of that either, like a Mon Calamari world.
No,
Like
I
a bunch
mean
of squid men.
you see it in the Clone Wars, but you never see it in live action. Like
Yeah,
that's another thing that's yeah, it's a lot of ideas that were really good that were in the Clone Wars and the Rebels we've never actually seen translated into film.
yeah,
So that was cool. So yeah, he's like coming in for his landing, and we've got disappointed Mon Calamari
yeah.
like
Standing there watching it.
standing there watching him try to land his ship. They do address a lot of the stuff that fans have been complaining about, like Baby Yoda's incident last week where he got canceled
Yeah.
after eating a bunch of sentient frog eggs.
Yeah, but he is Baby Yoda. It's like a baby
Right.
eating.
But it was kind of funny when the Mandalorian had to leave him with the parents, and he's like, "Well, be on your best manners," and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to
I don't know if
tell.
you want him to be there.
He
Like,
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't want them to know that he's actually been eating their children when they weren't looking.
yeah, pretty much. The last is our line.
Yes, but he does stop. So I
Yes,
think
he learned his lesson because
he-
he almost got eaten alive by his own food.
he's had a few instances like in the last couple episodes where he's nearly gotten eaten by something.
Yes.
So first it was giant spiders. This time it was like weird squid monsters. It's almost like
And then like some fish thing.
yeah. It's almost like the giant fish, whatever that thing was that was in the cargo hold of the ship.
Yeah.
It's another thing too. We got to see an actual ship, like
Yeah.
a ship that goes on the
An
water.
actual ship, not just a spaceship. An
Yeah,
actual ship.
real ships. So
And we
yeah,
got to see some repurposed AT-ATs or ATSTs or whatever.
it was like an AT-AT.
As like
It's a crane.
construction vehicles.
That was kind of cool. I'm really liking that about this series. How they're it's like the remnants after the fall of the Empire and how they use the equipment and stuff
Yeah.
from. Because like everybody has these private warlord armies, like they're trying to bring back the Empire, but in reality they're all like their own private armies.
Yeah.
And like last season, you had that one episode with the ATST, but it was like somebody's private army, so they had their own customized ATST. Like it wasn't the regular gray look; it was camo and had the crazy red glowing eyes and stuff.
Which kind of makes sense if you're like an empire that just falls apart. I'm sure all their equipment just kind of gets used up.
Yeah, like we're not dealing with the real Empire anymore. We're dealing with like remnants and like renegade underground, like underworld organizations and stuff.
Yeah, they're trying to take over equipment and stuff.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so we got Bo-Katan in this episode, who's a character that originated in the Clone Wars. And she's a character that's like in line to be the ruler of Mandalore. So like that was pretty cool that she showed up. It's
Yeah,
actually
she's looking for Moff Gideon, I'm thinking.
yeah, because she needs the dark saber. Because I think the dark saber is one of those things you need to be the rightful ruler of the
Yeah, I think that's how
society.
it was. And like, isn't it like that? At least it was Mandalorian history or whatever. I guess isn't that like passed down the line to like kings and stuff? And like,
Yeah, something like
but I'm
that.
not sure how Mandalorians are like chieftains or I don't know what they call themselves, but
Yeah, well, I mean, the ruler is just called like the Mandalore or something. But
oh, okay.
yeah, like neither of us have actually. Well, I've watched some of the Clone Wars and parts of Rebels, but I never watched the whole thing, which I feel like I have to do now because this is definitely tying into events from that show.
Hmm.
And last I recall, I think the dark saber was with Sabine Wren, who's a character that might still show up in this series. I don't know. There was a lot of rumors that she would be in it, but there was a lot of rumors that she was going to be in this episode, but she turned the character people thought was Sabine turned out to be a completely unrelated character. It was like Casca Reeves or something.
Yeah.
And the one thing that's kind of cool about Bo-Katan is that the voice actor is the actress that plays her in live action
Oh,
too.
is that actually the voice
Yeah,
actress?
yeah.
Oh,
So
that's pretty
that's
cool.
she's only I guess she's only ever been played by one character in live action and animated form.
Bo-Katan. There we go.
So that was that
That
was
works.
that was pretty cool. And then they had the big name drop towards the end that of course the Mandalorian's looking for Jedi so he can figure out where Baby Yoda's from. And they have the big name drop that Ahsoka Tano is going to be in the show because Bo-Katan literally tells him to go to some planet and talk to Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah. And we also get to find out the differences between Mandalorian cultures, I guess.
That's a good one too because a lot of
Yeah.
people in the last couple of weeks, a lot of people have been complaining about the show because Mandalorian never takes his helmet off, but then every Mandalorian we see in the Clone Wars takes their helmets off all the time, and there's no like repercussions or anything.
Yeah.
And this show explained it as the Mandalorian we know, Din Djarin, is actually part of some essentially a terrorist organization, like
Yeah.
extremist form that
They're trying to. Mhm.
wants to like return Mandalorian traditions to like the old Republic era or something.
Yeah. Where they have to wear their mask all the time. It's like, they can't take it off.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He's unaware that he's part of some extremist group because he was raised by them since he was a child, and he thinks
Yeah.
that is it is the way. Like you just don't question it.
Yeah, you don't question that way, which I guess is kind of some tension or whatever. Not really tension, but
There
kind
was
of
a bit of
adds to.
tension there. Like he didn't trust them.
Yeah.
He didn't believe they were really Mandalorians.
It's like, you're not Mandalorians.
Because this happened to him already once. Because he thought he found a Mandalorian on Tatooine, and it turned out it was that random like marshal guy
Sheriff.
who
It's
wasn't
like
a
a smart.
Mandalorian at all. He was just wearing Mandalorian armor. So he thought that was happening again.
Yeah.
And this time they really are Mandalorians, but he doesn't believe them. At least at first. I think he knows they're Mandalorians now, but
Yeah, it's like they actually fight like Mandalorians. It's like, okay, maybe they are.
yeah, that was cool when you have like a squad of Mandalorians just waste a whole like platoon of stormtroopers.
Yeah. The stormtroopers are just like useless. They're like really useless in this one.
Yeah, well, I mean they've always been useless, but
It's like even worse.
to
Kind of,
it was cool to have like a comparison between like the regular everyday troops that we've seen before and Mandalorians.
yeah.
The
Mandalorians
Mandalorians
are
are
at least can aim.
yeah, they're totally different tier.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Mandalorians are like almost like the Predator or something. Like,
Yeah,
cause
they
they
kind of show like some of their mask view, and it's like
oh yeah, that was
it's
cool. Yeah,
it's like you see heat from people and stuff like that. So
yeah, yeah, it had like heat sensors and stuff. Like you he has different modes they can see through their helmets.
Yeah.
So that and all the gadgets and weapons and like impenetrable armor and stuff, like they've got kind of like Yautja kind of thing going on with their tech.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, this is overall really good episode. Probably my favorite.
That's a really good one.
Probably my favorite, at least my favorite this season, if not for the whole show so far.
Yeah, I do really like this one. This one actually was really good. It's definitely getting like better as the episodes go on. I guess we'll have to see. Like, I kind of wonder if it's going to be. There might be a filler episode next week, maybe traveling in between episodes, possibly.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be filler. It might be him trying to locate Ahsoka Tano, because she gave him the name, presumably the name of a planet, but you know, it might.
Yeah, that is true. You have to find where she's at.
Yeah, it might take them a whole episode to find her. I'm thinking they might pull Luke Skywalker from Force Awakens or something, where Ahsoka will show up like the last scene of the episode or something,
and not say anything.
And not say anything. And then the following episode, she'll be really depressed, act nothing like herself, and spend the entire episode drinking green titty milk.
Yes, exactly. From whatever, the space cows or whatever.
Yeah, the space cows. And it'll be revealed that it was written by Rian Johnson.
Yes, Rian Johnson wrote this episode.
It's directed by Dave Filoni, but written by Rian Johnson.
That's what that guy, when he was gonna crash his ship into the world, I guess he should have used the Holden maneuver.
Yeah, he could have just hyperdrive. Yeah, just go into hyperdrive right through the core of the planet.
Yes, go on at least in a bang.
Exactly. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Yeah, in the next episode, I predict that it will be him trying to find Ahsoka. And then...
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Episode 5 will be whatever the actual plot with Ahsoka is.
Yeah, plot.
Because episode 5 is directed by Dave Filoni.
So, okay, that probably makes sense. That's probably the episode we'll see Ahsoka in.
Yeah, everybody has assumed.
Part of Ahsoka.
Yeah, everybody's assumed that Ahsoka's going to show up in that episode.
They were right. So assumptions are right ever so often. So.
Yeah, and we'll see if Rex and Sabine show up in that episode, because rumors were really heavy that Sabine was in this season. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
And Rex could show up because Temuera Morrison, I guess there was like a weird leak a while back where Temuera Morrison's like agency or something released some information about him, and it had him cast in this series as Boba Fett / Rex or something.
Oh yeah, maybe that might.
So he could be doing a dual role here, where he could be playing both characters, because we already saw him presumably as Boba Fett.
Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, he'd probably show up too. I could see them being there, because it's kind of weird that they show him like a cameo. It's like, okay, just have him as a cameo. They should have him.
Well, they're allegedly, like we said in our movie news for the week, allegedly there's a Boba Fett series happening.
Yeah.
So we may not see Boba Fett again this season.
Yeah, that's probably just add him onto the other one.
Yeah, we might see him again, but we also might not. I don't know. It just depends.
Yeah.
It could have been a big tease for the Boba Fett series. Or there is no Boba Fett series, and he will come back.
Yeah.
Because Disney hasn't confirmed that series even exists, even though there's all this talk about it happening like before Mandalorian season 3 gets filmed and stuff. But nobody knows anything.
Confirmed or denied.
Yes, nobody knows anything for certain. But what we do know for certain is this was a really good episode.
Yes, that is true. This is a really good episode for the Mandalorian season 2.
Yes, I think we'll end it with that, because I don't think there's anything else to say about this episode, and we'll see you again next week.
Alright, see ya.
See you.